After openly criticizing her co-star Gal Gadot because of her political views, Rachel Zegler is causing Disney problems once more. Something that not even her fans can support. And based on the way she has been discussing Snow White in interviews, Disney looks to have had enough. Disney has decided to replace her sequences with a new actress. According to recent claims from several insiders in the entertainment industry, Disney is reportedly trying to address the impact of Rachel Zegler's extremely controversial remarks by completely changing major parts of the narrative of their planned Snow White adaptation. To lessen Rachel Zegler's presence on screen, rumors are claiming that they may be introducing another story revolving around a younger iteration of the widely known Snow White. Dividing the role in two actually gives Snow White a chance to be more liked by people, as it's not entirely on Rachel's shoulders. This decision appears to be an attempt at damaging control to try and soften the image of Snow White, for which Rachel has received so much criticism. Longtime fans who grew up with the iconic storyline that Disney is now trying to change have expressed their disapproval of Rachel Zegler's outspoken opinions on this new woke side of Snow White and the changes being implemented to the original story. Disney seems to have had enough of Rachel Zegler's frequent remarks and has decided to reconsider the actress's role in the film. This development demonstrates the major impact that audiences have on the entertainment industry and shows the potential losses that Disney can face if they delay making changes. Since it seems that Disney is still somewhat committed to upholding the quality of its original works and isn't ready to give up on their fan base, this gives them some brownie points as well. Disney seems to add a whole new dimension to the story by focusing on Snow White's early years through the lens of a completely new actor in response to the ongoing backlash resulting from Rachel Zegler's criticism of the original narrative. Fans are still doubtful of this answer, though, because Disney hasn't always been the best at making last-minute changes. For this reason, there is still some skepticism given all of the changes and the fact that the film has already been delayed by a whole year. Fans are very worried about the movie's potential for success. Disney's trying to fix something that was nearly totally broken has cost the company a lot of money, leading some to say that it should have been scrapped a long time ago. According to online discussions, many fans appear to have started losing interest in Disney productions because of the difficulty they are facing getting what appears to be a fairly simple movie, according to online discussions. By trying to humanize the Snow White figure, insiders believe that Disney is trying to keep some of its fans interested in both the movie and the company as a whole. They want to do this by utilizing origin stories and flashbacks to gain insight into her past, alongside adding more variety to the story. This new approach attempts to save the film by reducing Rachel Zegler's character representation. If Rachel's screen time was cut, it would be evidence that Disney values fan input and that, with enough vocal support, fans can have a real say in these decisions. Disney nevertheless manages to give the traditional tale the feel of something new, while also maintaining its timeless core by casting a new actress to represent the younger version of Snow White in ways that Rachel cannot. Disney's commitment to innovation is demonstrated by these extremely deliberate changes. They do, however, also show the extent to which Disney is prepared to cater to larger audiences to maximize profits, a move for which the company has already faced harsh criticism. Fans can't help but observe that even if these new changes are definitely better, Disney didn't act on Rachel Zegler's sabotage until millions of people threatened to boycott the firm. Fans are responding positively to the announcement of a new Snow White, which may lessen Rachel's interpretation of the character, despite Disney's less than subtle actions. Amelia Faulkner, a young actress who is being considered to replace her, appears to be a good fit for the part, appearing to embody the idealized version of Snow White. Disney hasn't released a formal remark on these latest events, though, despite the rumors and insider information on Amelia's capture. It appears that this is something they are attempting to hide to still surprise large crowds. There is still a lot of opportunity for improvement, though, as the film is still being made. It is therefore possible that the studio is attempting to hold off on making these kinds of announcements. The way the new and old elements are combined will ultimately determine how well Disney's Snow White movie does. Even though some fans were initially thrilled about Rachel Zegler's involvement, new developments indicate that many may have been turned off by her portrayal. For this reason, adjustments must be made immediately as Disney attempts to reimagine the beloved story. They have to balance satisfying the needs of both story-hungry readers and nostalgic lovers. This demonstrates how important it is to get feedback from the public when making movies and how, if you're not careful, even your fans could turn against you. The reality that Rachel and Gal Gadot are on opposed political extremes is another problem she's been facing lately, one that even her supporters have begun to critique. The stark ideological divide between Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot has clouded their professional relationship and raised questions about how well they can collaborate. Two extremely divergent stances on one of the most important geopolitical issues of our time are represented by Gal Gadot's vocal support for Israel and Rachel's continued support for Palestine. Their strongly different worldviews will undoubtedly influence their public personalities, influencing not just their social media presence but also their involvement in the entertainment sector. If their professional relationship hasn't already been negatively impacted, it might do so now that they have to work together while navigating these opposed ideologies for the Snow White movie. The fact that Rachel Zegler has chosen to speak out about this extremely important topic has angered some of her admirers, who feel she has no right to do so because she isn't a native Palestinian. Although Gal Gadot, an ex-IDF member, has real ties to one side of the dispute, many feel that Rachel ought to have acted more professionally by avoiding this specific situation. But not just people opposed to Rachel Zegler's involvement in this matter find fault with her disagreement with Gal. In fact, despite having different ideals from Gal Gadot, Rachel Zegler's choice to star in a movie with her has angered and disappointed her supporters. Many believe that Rachel's friendship with Gal undermines any advocacy she may be undertaking on behalf of Palestine, given their divergent views on the Israel-Palestine conflict. For years, Rachel has been outspokenly supportive of Palestine, even going so far as to tweet about her opinions. Fans of Rachel Zegler have expressed dissatisfaction and criticism over her choice to associate herself professionally with someone whose beliefs are opposed to her own. Not only does the ongoing battle have great significance, but it also speaks directly to her character. In an internet comment, someone even said, "Snow White's press tour featuring Gal Gadot is going to be interesting. By declaring I stand with Israel, you should too." Gal has actively engaged in disseminating messages about the contested Zionist ideology. She has also not merely been a passive supporter of Israel. The world cannot remain silent in the face of these horrifying acts of terror. She even assisted in organizing an October 7th film screening in Los Angeles, for which she was criticized because many people thought the footage amounted to propaganda. Some have gone so far as to say that Rachel is endorsing Gal Gadot's pro-Israel attitude, casting doubt on the authenticity of her activism and seeing her association with the pro-Israeli activist as a betrayal of her stated principles. As a result, Rachel's ethics and motivations have been called into question by all parties, creating conflict not just within her fan base but also potentially threatening her future professional career. Though I can appreciate Rachel Zegler's open support for Palestine, I also wonder if celebrities genuinely care about Palestine or if they only say it to maintain a positive public image. Rachel Zegler is an ex-IDF soldier. Even more, others have brought up the fact that Rachel has been urging her followers to send money to Palestine without making it apparent if she is genuinely making any efforts to support herself. Have you given money today? Have you contacted the heads of state and government in your country to urge them to demand a ceasefire? Beyond social media, your activity ought to extend. Since she is the one with money, many were quick to condemn her for asking people to donate from their own pockets. She also faced criticism for her hypocritical behavior. While many are condemning Rachel's conduct, there is another camp on the internet that feels that if they both wanted their professional careers to succeed, they should have remained silent in this specific circumstance. There is a widespread belief that the response would not have been as strong if neither had released any additional statements, as it would not have affected the film. Actors' primary responsibility is to entertain as many people as possible. If they were to start taking sides in politics, their ability to entertain would be severely compromised, according to a popular opinion held by many fans. Do you recall the days when we knew who the performers were voting for at the Oscars? Those were better, more carefree days. Some are even criticizing Rachel specifically for making her already difficult circumstances worse by choosing to oppose her coworker, a move that not even her supporters could support. Since this famous piece of history shouldn't be connected to Rachel's numerous mistakes over the previous few years, most people think that she deserves to have her screen time removed from the film, especially since she is now receiving criticism from both sides.